Unboxing and assembling Mainstays L-shaped desk with Hutch. This is actually a pretty nice desk, perfect price. It's approximately $89 in Walmart. Let's unbox and assemble this nice office desk. This desk made with cherry black finish. It have large work surface, pull-out shelf for keyboard and mouse, open and close storage compartments, and cutouts for easy cord management. Unboxing him could be only unboxing the side. Packed pretty well, sealed. All necessary screws which you will need during the assembly. And plus you can notice that they pack pretty well. All of them in a separate plastic container. It's kinda inconvenient to be taking everything out from here. That's why it's better to rip it from a side, so you will be able to completely take all contents that you will need. Everything is packed pretty well, that's why nothing wasn't scratched or damaged during the shipping. Also, right here you can see a manual. This manual, of course, you will need to use during the assembly process. This table is not that small, it has a lot of tricky parts. All these bolts, nuts, will take some time. Take everything out, put it against the wall. This is the best choice, because you will need to remove all box, because it takes some space. Don't scratch nothing, just take your time while taking everything out from the box. As you can see, there is a huge amount of parts, because the desk itself is not small. Let's say that it's a large size desk. It's a L-shaped desk. And before you will completely remove the box away, just take those out. As you noticed, I'm removing everything exactly in the corner, because this desk was built for the corner. That's why it's better to remove all parts exactly where you will assemble them. And it's time to get rid of this box. In case you will need to move this table, you need to take him apart, save the box. It's actually have service ticket at the beginning of the manual, as you can see. It's asking us to complete the purchase date. Today is 13 January 2014. And it's saying that if part is missing or damaged, visit our website or call our toll-free customer service line. We will gladly ship your replacement parts free of charge, because the stores do not stock parts if they're missing. This is the toll-free number that should be called in case if something is missing. before actually you will start, you have to make sure that you have those tools. You need to have flat screwdriver, Phillips screwdriver and a hammer. There is a huge amount of parts that actually you have to verify before you will assemble the table. As you can see, it's pretty much a lot. But I don't want to be bored and then to verify all this. That's why I will just skip this step. Huge amount of screws. The techniques that you have to be using: tighten to fully seat, proper orientation of the cam. I am good with all this, and just take your time. And let's start from the first part. This is part number first. Let's start. Actually, before starting, I made sure that I have a Phillips screwdriver, flat screwdriver and a hammer, because they didn't provide this only screws. They didn't give any tools in a set. So I make sure that before you will assemble this table, you have all necessary tools. Those three you will need for sure. The first part we're working with is Hutch top shelf. This is how it looks on schematics. Hutch top shelf have cam locks. Those cam locks have to be inserted right here. 1, 2, 1, 2. Besides these cam locks, it have 6 screw cam bolts. Those 6 screw cam bolts have to be inserted right here. It's actually same everywhere, almost everywhere. And the most important is to properly allocate all this. As you noticed, there is one additional hole. It's right here. The same as on schematics, is positioned right there. All those screws and parts was provided in these special containers, and you will need to take out 15 of those, 4 of those and 6 of those. First you have to prepare all parts that you will need on this step and tools. You will need to screw 6 cam bolts. Location of the first cam bolt right here. While you screw him, do not over tighten, but at the same moment it should be tight, but not over tightened. Right here and right here. For you to better and for faster assembly, position the part exactly how it's specified in the manual. So it's laying down like this, and I positioned it like this. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3 already mounted. Mount all of them that you will need to do in this part. 6 of them. When you installed all 6 of them, the same way as it says right here, 6 of them have to be installed. Right here, while you installing the cam locks, they have to be aligned like this. This is the entry, and entry should be aligned matching this hole. This is how it looks. As you can see, the entry matching the hole. Install the same one right here, and 2 of them from the other side. As soon as you're done, install all 6 screws and 4 cam locks. You have to install the Hutch top shelf. It goes right here, like this, and it's mounted from using those 3 bolts. The holes already made right here, you have to simply screw here, here and here, and it will go in the holes which already made. 1, 2, 3, just like this. Hutch top shelf is done. On the first step, put it away. The second one is the Hutch divider. Position the parts how you see them on schematics, absolutely the same, and install those 6 cam locks. When you make sure that you install all of them, they should be facing like this, here, here, and from the other side, and this one facing like this. You have to install the compression dowel. There is only one, it was provided, and it's supposed to be tapped, but not completely. You're supposed to leave him 7/16 out, so do not tap him completely in. Step number 3, you have to attach the hatchback and hatch divider to the hatch top shelf. And on this step you have to lock those 3 locks. This one, and this one. And then it's fitted in on all of them. When you're done, when you tightened everything, put this part away and take part Q, install those 4, and those 3 goes from the other side. After those 3 was installed, the next step is to prepare part L, and here it was a little bit confusing. This part was marked as S by mistake, but the reason how I identified it is because it have 2 holes right here, and this should be mounted right there. The reason why I mention it is because they put the wrong sticker, but as you can see, this part looks like almost identical. So always make sure that before assembling you verify the size, and you actually have to properly install all items, all screws, bolts. Install those cam bolts. From the other side install 2 bolts right here, and install this catch right there. And while attaching this catch, it should be aligned like this, and you need to use 2 bolts. It's a little bit confusing, those 2 looks like almost the same, but if you will check the amount, you can see that number 3 we have 14, and those which look like almost the same, you have only 10. So this is that you will need to use, because it's more of them, it's 14. As soon as you're done, you have to lock those 2 locks. And make sure that it's secured. As you can see, it's secured because locks are properly engaged. Step number 5. attach parts L, Q, M, N and P using 2 screws. This step is a little bit tricky because there is a lot of locks and all of them have to match. Right here, here and here. Let's take your time on this step and then mount those 2 screws, and this one need to be aligned properly, this piece, for screws to go through. Alright, part number 5 is done. Part number 6. You have to flip it around. Part J. You have to mount these 4 screws. Here, here, here and here. And as soon as you install these 4 screws to part J, position it on place. And set up the locks. It's actually 4 of them. Just lock it. Right here, right here, right here. Right here you will need to use a small screwdriver because there is no way how you can access. Right there and right there. For this hard access place, use a small screwdriver so you will be able to reach it. And lock those cam locks on places. The next step, you have to mount this part number R using those 2 screws, just like this. And then install 2 cam locks right here. The next step is part K. Should be pretty simple. Before assembling it, put 4 screws here, here, here and here, and install it. Position the part K. And lock the locks, all 4, and on the bottom. Step number 7 is done. Step number 8, completely different parts, so you can put all these just assembled part away, you don't need it at this moment. Next we're working on part G and part F. First of all, you have to assemble the keyboard brackets on part F. Use those small screws and mount this keyboard bracket on place. Do not over tighten. Mount all 3 boards and then install 2 cams right here and right here. Next, you have to, when you prepare this part, you have to put those screws and you have to position those brackets right here and right here and mount them using those 3 bolts. They're a little bit longer, not like those that you was using to assemble this part. Then mount those two brackets, this and this. It was hard to understand right here, but as you can see on this number 9 schematics, it's more detailed. They have to be a little bit out. So basically you have to mount them like this. They have to stay like this, partially out, not like this. This is the correct way. As soon as you're done, position it like this. This element should be here, the roller, and tighten the cam locks in place, both of them. The next step, you have to connect the desktop to the left hatch panel and right hatch panel using the screws. Those 4 screws that you will need to use. This part can wait. What we did in step number 9, just put it a little bit away. Right now we are working on part A and part B. You have to install those cam locks and those 2 screws, and here you have to assemble the keyboard latches. When this step is done, everything is mounted. The keyboard and all the cam locks, those 2 bolts, and from the other side you have to take part E and mount part A and B together. This is the part E, very easy to find because it have a slot for the cables. As soon as you're done, it's time to connect those 2 major parts together, this part and this part. Mount this bracket. When you put everything together, put this bracket right here and mount it onto screws. Alright, when everything is done, step 12, it's time to lift it up completely as a whole table and attach the back panel. Alright, table is up. The next step is part H, C and D. Step 13 done completely. Table is already up. Mount those 6 bolts. Install those. Here, and 6 cam locks. Step number 15. Also those 2 connector bolts. It was only 2 of them in a set. It have to be right here and right here. Install the part C, just like this. And the next is part D, which is going like this. Right here there is some detail. You don't need to tighten them like a lot inside. That's why they have to engage like this. If you will tighten them a lot, they will be too short and not gonna be able to engage properly. When it's done, tighten the cam locks. Do not over tighten. Should be done with assistant, with another person, almost the whole essence of this table, but I don't have nobody to help. You have to flip this upside down, not to damage it. Position it like this and to mount from the other side using those 4 screws in these places. So basically it's right here. Here, here, here and here. Finally I can use the table itself. I can put this part which I just need, because the rest of the time I was doing everything like this on the carpet, which is a lot harder. It's time to assemble the keyboard shelf. This is the keyboard shelf itself. You need to install left runner and left and right runner. It's actually pretty simple. Just snag it in like this. And the last is the shelf. In this step, when installing the lid, you will need to use those parts that were on the set and then this one. And I noticed that they was together, this and this. That's why you just need to take it out from here. Just simple as this. The short one you will need to use to mount this, and then those two long one will attach the handle from the other side. When it's done, it's time to install the mountings for the lid. And the last step, you have to put all of those into the cams everywhere, just to seal it up everywhere you see them, just like this. This was unboxing and full assembly of L-shaped desk with Hutch. Thanks for watching.